And I got up and I walked around and I was good to go. I was walking out to the car and I said to my husband, "Oh my gosh, something happened. I've lost all capability with my shoulders." So I went back in. I said, "Dr. Lipoff, what happened?" He said, "You are relaxed and your shoulders have dropped."
Welcome to Erase PTSD Now, the podcast, erasing the silence. Here we bring trauma out of the shadows and into the conversation. You'll hear real stories, survivors, veterans, clinicians, researchers. Together we'll explore the healing treatment and the science behind the stellate ganglion block. This isn't just another podcast. It's a movement, and one that demystifies trauma, elevates unheard voices, and inspires action.
So Amy Blavin is here with us today on the Erasing the Silence podcast, and she's going to tell her story. But let me tell you a little bit about Amy, or Amy can tell us about herself, I think. I'm going to enjoy this conversation fully and hearing more about your story, Amy. So she's just the most beautiful person, the most beautiful spirit, kindest heart, saving lives with every conversation she has, spreading the word about SGB, but not only there, just helping all those that seem hopeless and helpless. So, Amy, you are amazing, and I can't wait for you to share your story.
Wow. Thank you, Colleen. That was, I'm humbled. I'm humbled by what you said. And I have to say, is that true what she's saying? So thank you. Thank you. Oh, I am so grateful for SGB. As I am sitting here today to give you an idea of what I deal with on a daily basis. I am a mother of a child that has severe mental health issues and addiction and suicidal ideation. She is 28 years old, and her behavior has been very challenging since she was 3. I was living on pins and needles, not really able to sleep, and living under a tremendous amount of anxiety and stress. I don't know how I was functioning. I know that on the surface, doing a lot of work to help others kept me going, but I was dying inside. And the SGB seriously changed my life. I was so in a different frame of mind when I met Dr. Lipoff, who I originally brought my daughter to, hoping that this would be something that would catapult her recovery. And he said, "Do you think you need this, Mom?" I'm like, "Oh no, I'm doing great." Because I was so used to living in such pain and anxiety that I didn't even realize. So let me tell you what happened the day I got my SGB. Well, first of all, I had my daughter and my husband be guinea pigs because I was scared. Once I saw the results in my husband, I couldn't get there fast enough.
So what did you see when you saw those results, though?
I saw a calm because he deals with the same thing as I do. And the sleepless nights, the hopelessness, the chronic fatigue. And I saw his edge was gone. And I wanted that. And I saw how well he recovered from it. And I don't need anesthesia. I never had any anesthesia. I just went in and said, "You know what, I can do this." I did not need anesthesia. That is a personal preference of mine. My husband and daughter both needed it, and there is nothing wrong with it. I want to say that. I just prefer not to have anesthesia unless I absolutely need to. And this was my decision, and I was so grateful that Dr. Lipoff and his team explained to me that It's not something everybody has to have. And I said to Dr. Lipoff, I said, are we almost done? Or when are you going to do the procedure? And he said, you are done.
Oh, wow. So you were relaxed. Was there anything that helped you relax? Because it is kind of freaky to hear and understand what's going on. So I understand why you said you had your husband be big.
The team is so professional. They were holding my hand, they were talking, and I trusted the process. I did have the benefit of watching them give the procedure to my husband and my daughter, which for some people, they'd be like, I'm not doing that. And to me, I'm like, that was not bad. I can totally do that. Going to the dentist is far worse than getting this procedure. So I felt very comfortable. I felt at ease, and I really wanted the relief. So I went in. I had the procedure. I was in the aftercare, and my husband came in and he said, we're ready to go. Him and Dr. Lipoff walked in and they're like, let's see how you get up and walk around. And I got up and I walked around and I was good to go. I was walking out to the car and I said to my husband, oh my gosh, something happened. I've lost all capability with my shoulders. Like, why are they disconnected from me? What did he do in that procedure? So I went back in. I said, Dr. Lipoff, what happened? He said, you are relaxed and your shoulders have dropped. You were so wound up and tense that your shoulders were rubbing the bottom of your ears practically. I had such relief that I didn't even know about. And all I could remember was my yoga instructor and my massage therapist saying, you really need to drop your shoulders. You need them. They're up way too high. You're holding on to something. And I now knew what they meant from a physical standpoint.
Wow. Wow.
And it brings me to tears to tell you this because I don't have the chronic neck pain and shoulder pain from gripping. And I'm an athlete. So I was attributing it all to the way I exercise. And I'm a rower. So I thought, oh, it's all from rowing. No, it was not. It is completely gone. So that night, my husband takes me out for a nice dinner, and I ordered something difficult to chew. I ordered steak. And I put a piece of steak in my mouth, and I said, oh, great. I no longer can chew. I've lost the ability to chew. I don't know what did we do today? And I just started sobbing. And I realized that I could chew. I was no longer grinding my teeth. But I did not realize that till I woke up the next morning, not in pain. My jaw was released. And I have been to every TMJ specialist in New York, Arizona, Michigan, Los Angeles, every place that I've lived. And I have this apparatus I sleep with at night that is uncomfortable, unsightly, and thick. I don't have to use that anymore.
Wow.
I released my jaw. The difference for me was very physical at first, significantly physical, a very physical release. Then life came, and life is really difficult with someone that you love, my flesh and blood being so ill. And I was coping. My decisions were more clear, and I was at ease. I wasn't living in fight or flight. And I can't remember the last time I lived that way. It was certainly before she was born. 28 years ago.
Wow.
Thank you for listening to Erase PTSD Now, the podcast. If you've been affected by trauma, love someone who has, or want to be a part of real change, this space is for you. New episodes drop every third Wednesday. Follow Erase PTSD Now so you never miss an episode, and join us in the fight to erase PTSD.